We've just got a few more minutes before it begins, but if you have a yoga strap, I don't know whether you got one of those to hand? Brilliant. Perfect. I'll give everyone a chance to log on, although I think it's quite a quiet week this week. A lot of people seem to be working back in the office and things. We've just got one more minute. Can you hear me okay with the voice? I don't know, I've put the music on differently today. All good. We'll begin as it's just coming up to 8 o'clock now. So we'll start with our usual shoulder pass through. So if you come to the center of your mat and grab a hold of your yoga strap, we're going to wrap one end around one hand and grab a hold of the other end with the other hand. So from here, we're just going to take the strap up and over with quite a nice wide grip, tap behind and then tap in front. So we're just going to do 10 rotations in total. As you work your way through, keeping those arms straight, of course, you might find that your mobility improves and you can just go a little bit narrower on that grip and challenge that shoulder rotation. So as you're doing this, remember, don't let those ribs flare out, keep them locked down. So the movement is coming just from your shoulders, so squeeze that core. I'm going to go for 2 more each way after this one. Last one. And then we're going to keep a hold of that strap. This time we're going to take it overhead and you're going to take the left arm up as you bring the right arm down to the side of you and stretch out the side of you. See how far you can bring that left arm down. Take a nice deep breath all the way in, or that right arm, sorry. And then inhale as you come all the way back up to center and then reach over to the other side. Exhale. Come all the way back to center. We're going to do 3 of these each side. So just stretching out that side body. Just moving with your own breath in your own time, trying to keep those arms as straight as possible as you transition from side to side. Last one each side. And then come all the way back up to center, release the strap, chuck it to one side, and we're just going to come down into our garland pose. So taking the feet out nice and wide into your squat stance, or not too wide, we're going to inhale as we lift the hands up above the head, palms together, and then come all the way down into your garland pose. So try and keep the heels flat to the floor, keep the torso nice and lifted. Think about pointing the tailbone to the floor, and the crown of the head up to the ceiling. If you find that your heels are lifting, then bring yourself up just slightly to keep that torso nice and upright. Take a nice deep breath all the way in, maybe pulse in the bottom. Exhale. And then we're just going to pulse from side to side, getting into those hips. So just do whatever your body needs to do to get into those hips. From here, we're going to take the left hand down to the floor. Inhale as we lift and twist with our right hand up towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, release, and then switch sides. Right hand goes to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist toward the left. Exhale, release. We're going to do that 2 more times each side. So again, trying to keep that torso nice and upright. Trying to keep those heels toward the floor if you can. 1 more each side. And then slowly come back to center. Inhale as you come all the way up. Heel toe the feet back underneath the hips. Soften the knees, hinge at the hips. Come all the way down into your Uttanasana Ragdoll. So we're going to take opposite hand to opposite elbow and just gently swing from side to side as you get into that lower back. So with this, rather than crunching over at the top, try and draw the chest over the thighs. If that means you need a bit deeper bend in the knees, then please do. Think about stretching out that lower back, getting into those glutes, those hips, the hamstrings. Take a few deep breaths. and then release the hands to the floor again. We're going to heel toe the feet out to the edges of the mat, find our squat stance. Inhale to come all the way up, back to the top again, palms together at the top. Exhale as you come down into that garland pose. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale, and then this time we're just going to take 2 steps forwards and then 2 steps back. And we'll just do that 2 more times. So 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back, and 1 more time, 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back. Palms can come to the floor, heel toe the feet back underneath the hips, and then just gently walk the feet all the way to the back of the mat, finding your down facing dog position. So spread the fingers, grip the mat through the hands, press the crown of the head towards the floor, pull those shoulders open so that you've got a nice broad upper back and your neck is free from your shoulders. Don't worry about having straight legs to begin with. Bend at the knees, point the tailbone high, find length in the spine, and maybe just take a few pulses through those shoulders, pressing the crown of the head towards the floor. And then once you feel like your shoulders are more open, you can begin to pedal through the feet, opening up the calves, the hips, the hamstrings. And then when you're ready, we're going to take 3 body flows. So finding yourself in your down facing dog position, we're going to transition through to cobra. So we're going to inhale, roll forwards, drop the hips, look up, find cobra. And then exhale as you push back, tuck the toes and find your down facing dog once more. Inhale, roll forwards, drop the hips, look up, find cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back to down facing dog. Last one. Inhale, roll forwards, drop the hips, look up, find cobra. And then exhale this time as you push back to extended child's pose. Reaching the hands forwards, really feel that stretch in the underarm. Take a nice deep breath in as you expand across the upper back. Exhale. And then we're going to slowly come up onto our hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to do 5 cat-cows. So you're going to inhale as you dip the stomach, squeeze the shoulder blades together, look up towards the ceiling. And then exhale as you round through the spine, pressing the ground away, sucking the navel back and up. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. So you're just going to transition each way 3 more times, using your breath, moving vertebrae by vertebrae, pulling those shoulder blades apart in that angry cat position and sucking the navel back and up so you're really pressing the ground away, and then squeezing everything together in that arch position. 1 more each way. And then slowly come back to neutral. From here, we're going to come in to thread the needle. So keeping the right hand grounded, we're going to thread the left arm through and under, bringing the shoulder to the floor, looking out underneath the right armpit. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. And then we're going to inhale to lift and reach back and up with that left hand towards the ceiling. Exhale to thread. We're going to do 3 lifts and reaches. So with your own breath, in your own time, just opening up the shoulders, last one, and then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back to center, and we'll switch sides. So you're going to take the right hand now through and under, reaching through, shoulder to the floor, looking out underneath the left armpit. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then we're reaching back and up with our right hand towards the ceiling as we inhale. Exhale to thread for 1, for 2, and then last one, 3, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're just going to do 10 scap presses. So it's a very small movement, keeping the arms absolutely straight. You're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together as the chest dips through the arms. And then you're going to press the ground away as you pull the shoulder blades apart and the chest lifts. There's no movement in my lower back. You're just simply dipping and lifting the chest up and down, using the shoulders to do so. So this is really good for scapular mobility, of stability, sorry, let me get my words out. It's an area that a lot of people neglect and is often left weak and leaving that individual open to shoulder injuries. So it's one that we should always try and incorporate, especially this movement, into our routines, especially if you're doing a lot of inversions or overhead lifting. Last one. And then take the hands slightly further forwards once you've come back to neutral. We're going to come into puppy pose. So option to just come back into heart melting pose, dropping the chest towards the floor, forehead towards the floor, and just enjoy a gentle stretch through the thoracic spine and underneath the armpits. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale. 2 more deep breaths all the way in. Exhale. Once you've taken those 2 deep breaths, inhale as you come all the way back up onto your hands and knees. Option to stay in that extended, half heart melting pose, or you can start to slide yourself into puppy pose. So if you want to go into full puppy pose, start with your child's pose first. Take a couple of breaths there and then gently move yourself towards the front of the mat as you look. So chin to the floor, look towards the front of the mat. Lift your bum slightly off your heels. Maybe take a few deep breaths here. You can now feel this is getting into the cervical spine as well as the thoracic spine. Use the exhale to relax the body and let the body melt deeper into the mat below. Last deep breath all the way in. Option to stay here, or on the next couple of breaths, take it even deeper into full puppy pose. You might want to grip the front of the mat. Bring your chest to the floor as well as your chin. Just make sure that those hips don't go too far past your knees so that the bend transfers into your lower back. It should all be in your upper back still. Take a few deep breaths. With every exhale, let the body just melt deeper into the ground. Your lower back should be completely neutral. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then just slowly come all the way back to the back of your mat. And we're going to come into rabbit pose. So taking the hands either side of you, you're going to take the crown of the head towards the floor. So you might want to just lift off your bum slightly and then sit back into your heels whilst keeping that crown of the head towards the floor. Tucking yourself right up into a ball. You should feel a nice stretch down the back of the neck and into the upper back, into the shoulders. Take 3 deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then bring the hands underneath the head. Lift yourself back up, and we're going to bring ourselves down into a prone position now on our mats. So taking the hands out wide in a T-shaped position, we're going to come into scorpion pose. Shoulders glued to the floor, and you're going to inhale to lift that right leg up, or left leg, sorry, high towards the sky, and then reach it over towards the right. We're going to do it on the other side in a minute, so don't worry if you got the wrong leg. And then if you want to, you can take the left hand underneath the left shoulder, press into the ground and open up furthermore that right arm. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale. 2 more deep breaths all the way in. Exhale. Once you've taken your 3 deep breaths on this side, we're going to inhale to come all the way back up to center and then switch sides. So left arm goes long, right hand can come underneath that right shoulder. Inhale to lift and reach that right leg all the way over towards the left. And then take 3 deep breaths. So really focus on opening up that chest, keeping that shoulder glued to the floor so you can feel that stretch in the rotator cuff and maybe down the arm as well. One more deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then slowly inhale as you come all the way back to center. From here, we're going to come into half frog. So reaching back, right hand to right foot, bringing the heel in towards the glute, pulsing it a few times. And then holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and then switch sides. So left hand comes to left foot, pulsing the heel in towards the glute a few times. And then holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We're then going to slowly come back up into our down facing dog. So tuck the toes, press back to your down facing dog, pedal out the feet, and we're going to come into our lizard lunges. So right foot as you inhale comes outside of right hand, drop the back knee to the floor, reach the heart forwards, roll those shoulders back and down and send that knee out to the side. So just take a moment there to just gently press the foot, keeping the toes glued of course, press the knee out to the side. You can shuffle yourself forward so the knee comes over and out to the side as well. And then if you want to, you can challenge yourself and come down onto your forearms too. In whichever position you're in, keep looking forwards. Don't look down, keep looking forwards. The reason for this is that you keep a nice long neutral spine and you naturally try and pull the heart forwards. So eventually you want to be able to almost get flat towards the floor in this posture with the toes still glued to the ground. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale. One more deep breath all the way in. Exhale. Slowly come back up onto your hands if you're not already, and then we're going to reach back and over, right hand to left foot, bringing that heel in towards the glute. Pulse it a few times and then just hold for 3, 2, 1. Option to stay here or take it into monkey twist. You can come down onto your forearm, hold the foot around the ankle, flex the foot back into the hand and roll the right foot over onto the knife edge of the foot, pushing the knee out further as you look over the shoulder and kick back into the hand. Almost like you're wringing out a wet towel. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale, release. Step back to your down facing dog. Pedal out the feet. And then we're going to switch over. So left foot comes outside of left hand, dropping the back knee to the floor, reaching that heart forward, setting yourself up in that lizard lunge position. Take a moment there to just open up the hips, keeping those toes glued, remember. And then when you're ready, if you want to, come down onto your forearms for that low lizard lunge. Keep that heart reaching forwards. And just take 3 deep breaths, wherever you're at. Don't look down, keep looking forwards. It's really tempting to sit here looking at the floor, rocking back and forth, but actually, if you can keep reaching forwards, you're going to get much deeper into that hip. Take a few more deep breaths, or one more deep breath, and then we're slowly going to come up onto our hands. Reach back and up for right hand or right foot to left hand and bring that heel in towards the glute. Pulse it a few times and then hold for 3, 2, 1. Option to stay here or option to come down onto that forearm and kick back into that full monkey twist. So remember, rolling the left foot onto the outside knife edge of the foot, kicking back into the hand, flexing that foot and looking over that shoulder. Almost like you're wringing out a wet towel, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Step back to that down facing dog position. Pedal out the feet, and we'll take one more body flow. So inhale, roll forwards, drop the hips, look up, find cobra. And then this time we're going to keep the knees on the floor and sit back to extended child's pose. Forehead to the floor, take a nice deep breath all the way in, feel that expansion across the upper back. Exhale, and then walk the hands all the way over to the left. Feel that side stretch in the right, and take 2 deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale, walk the hands all the way back to center. As you inhale, and then as you exhale, walk them all the way over to the right. Feel that stretch in the left side body. Take 2 deep breaths. Slowly walk the hands all the way back to center. And then we're going to come up into our seated position. So swivel yourself around onto your bums. I'm going to face you guys so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to come into cow face. So you're going to take right leg underneath the left and bring the knee towards the front of the mat so it's directly in front of you. The right foot should be facing upwards, sole of the foot facing upwards and just outside of your left hip. Option to extend the leg if this is not possible. We're then going to take the left leg over the top, stacking the knees. You might want to come forwards onto the knees and stack them that way. And again, the sole of the foot facing upwards on the outside of the right hip. Both sit bones should be connected to the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the arms up. So we're taking the right arm up, left arm out to the side, reaching back behind into cow face pose. So interlacing those fingers and just holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. While you've got the legs here, we're going to just take that left foot up and over, or up and over onto the floor, either side, outside of your right knee. So the sole of your left foot is now firmly on the floor outside. Keeping those sit bones glued to the floor again. Of course, you can extend that left leg if that's not possible. And we're going to come into half Lord of the Fishes. So option 1, you can take that right arm around the outside of the knee and just look over the shoulder like we usually do, or you can take that right arm up and over to the outside of the knee and reach through the leg and see if you can take a bind. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release, and we're going to switch sides. So unravel the legs, switching them over. Left leg goes under, right leg goes over, stacking those knees, remember, coming back into that cow face pose. So set yourself up with that nice leg stacked position. And then this time, left arm goes up, right arm goes out to the side, reaching back behind you for those fingers and interlacing them if you can. And then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. With the legs, now we're going to take that right foot, place the sole of the foot on the floor outside of that left knee. That was better, wasn't it? And then you can take that left arm around the right knee into your regular half Lord of the Fishes, or taking that arm up and over and then threading it through so that you can take a bind. Interlace the fingers and then make sure both sit bones are connected to the floor. Look back and over that right shoulder. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Unravel the legs, unravel the hips, and then come down onto your backs to finish. So coming onto your backs, we're just going to bring the knees in towards the chest, hug them with both arms, rock from side to side. And then taking the toes to the floor, keeping the heels lifted. Take the arms out wide, glue those shoulders to the ground, palms are facing downwards. Just gently drop the knees from side to side, opening up the lower back, unraveling the spine, releasing off the hips, and easing out the shoulders and the chest. Just a couple of rotations each side. One more each side. And then gently bring your knees all the way back in towards your chest. Hug them with both arms. Rock from side to side. Take a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, just gently come all the way up to seated. Finding yourself in the center of the mat. We'll take one final deep inhale as we lift the hands up above the head, palms together at the top. And as we exhale, bringing the hands to the forehead, kind thoughts. To the lips, kind words. To the heart, kind feelings. Namaste.